Hi guys, so this is my model for the second look. We'll be doing a traditional bridal look. Here's my model. Say hi. Hi. As you can see, she's caramel skinned. Yeah, we're not using a fair complexion person today. So I'm going to start by cleansing her face with micellar water and cotton pad. So I'm cleansing her skin now with cotton pad soaked with micellar water. I'm going to start with her skin prep now. Start by hydrating, start by hydrating her face. Next will be serum, moisturizer, then primer. So we'll blend in the serum. Remember not to rush this process. Take your time and allow each product to sink in. So now we can go in with our moisturizer. So I'll be using this moisturizer by Blossom Makeup. So I'm applying the moisturizer now. Concentrate more around the eyes. Close your eyes. And it's okay to apply moisturizer everywhere on the face. Also remember that moisturizer is compulsory for every skin type. And feel free to apply the remaining products around the neck. So next is the primer. So I'm going in with this shade of foundation for her skin tone. So I'm going to close your eyes. I'm going to apply the face spray to melt in the foundation before blending. So you allow it sit on the skin for let's say 1 or 2 minutes before you proceed with your beauty blender to blend in the foundation. Lift your hand up again. So you can see her face and her hands, they have the same color, but her neck is lighter than her face. So I just wanted to add that when selecting foundation, you don't just look at the neck alone. You have to do an overview of your client or your model's skin complexion. Basically, you don't just select a foundation that matches the neck, but a foundation that matches her hands and her legs. So you can see a distinct difference between the face and the neck, but you can see her hands and her face. I just wanted to add that. You can drop your hands. So can you guys see? So I'm going to lock in the foundation using a hydrating mist. Close your eyes. Okay. For her skin complexion, I won't be using a darker shade of foundation to contour her face. I'll just go in with blush directly. Blush then highlights. Yeah. So remember the place to apply your blush on top of the cheekbone. This is optional. So you blend the center of the nose under the eyes. The cupid's bow. The chain is optional. I don't like to do that, but you can if you want. So highlighting the chin is optional. Most times you do that when your clients have a small face and you want the face to look longer, not just small or snatched basically. For those people with long face, it is advisable not to highlight, the chin because it's going to make the face look longer. So I'm trying to make sure my blush is still there by using the side of the beauty blender I used to apply blush on the apples of her cheeks. I want her nose snatched. So I'm going to spray the face again. Yeah. So when it's dried, I'll set under the eyes, just the highlighted places basically, and then before we start with the brows and the eyeshadow. So I'm going to use this loose setting powder now. So I have to blend it in very well because this is the first layer. We're not baking, we're setting. So I'll be using her shade of powder all over her face. You can apply it on the blush, it's okay. You're still going to use a powdered blush on the cream blush we applied earlier. Avoid under the eyes because we need brightness in that area. Be generous with your powder. I'm not a fan of using powder around the neck area. I just prefer to use moisturizer if possible or body glaze after the makeup application. So now I'll be contouring her nose with a dark shade of powder. So I'll be going in with my powdered blush. So I'm going to melt in the powders now before I'll bake, then start working on her eyelid. So I'm going to bake under her eyes now with my loose setting powder. So I'm not pressing the powder in, I'm just leaving it on the surface. This will make it easy to remove any eyeshadow fallouts when working on her eyelid. Close your eyes, I'm trying to define her nose. Sniff, I think you're tearing up. Trying to still make the nose snatched. So I'll be using this brow clear gel to tame her brows and hold it in place. I want to start with the brows now, using a spoolie too. I didn't carve her brows and I can still work with it. I'm not really a fan of carving brows basically. So I'm applying the brow gel because I want it to get dried before I start with the brows. But after applying the brow gel, I'll work on her eyelid now and apply the eyeshadow colors. So I'll be using this Clown White Benign eyeshadow primer on her eyelid. Close your eyes. So I'll start from here and then work my way up. So I'm also blending the primer as I'm applying it. So I'm going to start with a transition color now. I'll start from here, the inner corner of her eye, and blend towards the brows. And do the same thing on the other side and blend towards the brows. And this is the brush I used earlier to contour her nose, to apply the creamy and also the powdered contour. Feel free to use like one brush for different purpose basically. So I'll be using a darker shade now on the outer V area and blending towards the crease, smoking it out. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. Then I'm using a dark shade now, just concentrating on the outer V area. I used a dense dome brush for it. So I'm going to use a clean brush to just blend. I'm actually using powder instead of eyeshadow. Basically, I'm using like dark shades of powder for this transition area. So I still want a dark shade around the outer V area. So I'm going in with black, this shade of black, just a touch of it. So to work on the eyelid now, I'm going to use the same shadow primer I used. The brush I used earlier to apply the primer, I'm going to go over this. So I'll be using this shade matte on her eyelid. So I'm going to use the brush I used earlier to blend. Just use it to blend the shadow color basically. So I'll be using this pigment. Before then, I'll be using my pigment glue now. Close your eyes. Now I'm drawing her wing line. Open your eyes. Just look straight. Open your eyes and look down. Open, let me see. Are you comfortable? Yes. Are you sure? So I'm going to line. Sniff. So for the brows, I'll be using this small angled brush and a brow filler. I'm trying to connect this line with the rest, so you will not see where the line starts from. This straight line I first drew. So I'm trying to just blend it with the other strokes I'm making forward. So after this part, I'm going to use my Beauty Line by Didi pencil to make strokes, and I'll start from here. After that, I'm still going to use my small angled brush with a brow filler to define the top part. Using an angled brush now, I'll fade the line in. So can you see? I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to now use a dark brow filler basically here. You see? Just to draw a thin stroke. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. You can see what it looks like. Then I'm going to define the brows now. I like to use my eyeshadow primer for her lip base. Smack your lips together. And I do this most times when I want to do umber lips. So I'll just highlight the center part of her lips. Makeup is so fine. I'll be using this Nuban Beauty Glow Palette Highlight. I'll be using this shade here on her cupid's bow because I want that glow. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. Smack your lips together. I'm going with a lighter shade. Smack it together again. So I'm cleaning my brush in between. Next, I'll go in with a slightly dark shade from this Eye Magic lip palette. Smack it again together. So I'm going to go in with the darkest shade now. Smack your lips together. So we're going to go in with blush now. So now I'll be using cheek glaze on her cheeks. So I want to smoke under her lower lash line. Look up with a warm shade of eyeshadow color. So now I'm going to spray her face. So to melt in foundation and everything, to melt in all the powders rather. So I'll be using a hand fan now. So I'm going to apply lip gloss now. So now I'll be using this makeup spray to seal everything in. So let's do the mascara. So guys, this is the final look for the class. This is the traditional bridal look. She's going to change into her traditional attire soon, but I just wanted to quickly record this for you guys. So this is the makeup. You guys should practice and ask questions on the group. Thank you. It's bye from me and from my beautiful model. I am for your consent.